you're also an entrepreneur. You built your business, I assume, from the 90s. How did you build it up? How was the journey, and what if you maybe learnings on the way when dealing with clients?
Well, first of all, I started in a tax company with other tax advisors. I was the only lawyer there, so I had to have this qualification. This was no joke. I can tell you, becoming a tax advisor, especially for a lawyer, is really hard. But anyway, it was interesting. It was important for me to do that. After some years, I had a law firm with two other guys, which was built up very quickly. We had more than 20 people working for us within 2 years, and sometimes things in life are not working the way you expect them to do. So for some reasons, we could not go on together. And I was then going to the office of BBDO, of all kinds of advertisement, BBDO was the leader in advertisement in Germany in those days. And I was responsible there for about 50 agencies for all questions regarding law, taxation, and HR, So I had to learn how to act very quickly. If people are asking you, well, I have my meeting in about 59 minutes, and I guess I forgot to pose this question to you. Could you solve it, please? And hopefully in a matter that we don't need to take you in the meeting. Okay, so I had 59 minutes and I had to deliver, This was really hard work sometimes, but it was very, very challenging, very interesting in the end, and I learned a lot. And then in 2008, then I started my own law firm. I started a tax company with another guy together, So, and of course, I started to hold lectures at university in 2009 as a full-time professor officially, but in fact, I was working more in my law firm. I had not the time to have too many lectures in these days, and I stopped that 2 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that switch from let's say corporate to being to having your own law firm. I assume you brought a few clients there, but with you. But how did you sort of grow? I mean, what was the priority when you started that business, and how did you essentially grow that?
Well, in those days, I started to write down, should I say, small essays, articles, and books. Up to today, I wrote, I guess, about 12 books, something like this. And of course, I made many contacts. It was all about communication, talking to others, showing them, what am I doing? Where can I help you? Just to give them the imagination, just in case they might hear something about a case that could be one for me, that they would hopefully call me, And this was really hard work, building up all these contacts. It took a few years. And after this specialization here in taxation of cryptocurrencies, I find more and more it's absolutely positive finding out your core competences, finding out what really is something you are living for, something you really like, And if you are finding out what is special for you, what you can do in sort of perfection, then it's much more likely that you will be really successful than if you try to do everything. So from this point of view, what is decisive for me today, if people are calling me, sending in emails, of course, I cannot help everybody. I cannot overload things to my staff. I always have to think, can I do this job? Will I do this job? Do I want to do this job? for that reason, I guess it's very important to first of all find out whether the relationship between you and your possible client is working. If it's working, okay, then we can go to the next steps. But if I find out there's some sort of obstacle, then I say no, then I can't do it. I do not have the time anyway, or I recommend somebody else from my network. And I have a really big network right now.